Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fathur Rahman and this is my method of teaching task, and I'm going to summarize the book of H. Douglas Brown entitled Teaching by Principles, an Interactive Approach to Language Pedagogy, the second edition. In chapter 3 is the present and informed approach. Approach, or a rationale for language learning and teaching, therefore takes on great importance. Your approach includes a number of basic principles of learning and teaching, and on which you can rely for designing and evaluating classroom lessons. Your approach to language teaching methodology is the theoretically well-informed global understanding of the process of learning and teaching. An eclectic approach to language pedagogy is not just a set of static principles set in stone. It is in fact a dynamic composite of energies within you that change or should change if you are a growing teacher, with your experience in your own learning and teaching. The interaction between your approach and your classroom practice is the key to dynamic teaching. The best teachers always take a few calculated risks in the classroom, trying new activities here and there. The inspiration for such innovation comes from the approach level, but the feedback that these teachers gather from actual implementation then informs their overall understanding of what learning and teaching is, which in turn may give rise to a new insight and more innovative possibilities, and the cycle continues. Communicative language teaching, or CLT. Over the following 6 interconnected characteristics as a description of CLT, or communicative language teaching. 1. Classroom goals are focused on all of the components such as grammatical, discourse, functional, sociolinguistic, and strategic of communicative competence. Goals therefore must intertwine the organizational aspects of language with the pragmatic. 2. Language technique are designed to engage learner in the pragmatic, authentic, functional use of language for meaningful purposes. 3. Fluency and accuracy are seen as complementary principles underlying communicative technique. 4. Students in a communicative class ultimately have to use the language productively and receptively in under-raised contexts outside the classroom. 5. Students are given opportunities to focus on their own learning process through an understanding of their own style of learning and through the development of appropriate strategies for autonomous learning. 6. The role of the teacher is that of facilitator and guide, not an all-knowing bestower of knowledge. Students are therefore encouraged to construct meaning through genuine linguistic interaction with others. These 6 characteristics underscore some major departures from earlier approaches. In some ways, those departures were a gradual product of outgrowing the numerous methods that characterize a long stretch of history. 1. Learner-centered instruction. This term applies to circular as well as to specific techniques. It can be contrasted with teacher-centered and has received a very recent interpretation. Learner-centered instruction includes Techniques that focus on or account for learners' needs, styles, and goals. Techniques that give some control to the student, such as group work or strategy training, for example. 2. Cooperative and collaborative learning. A curriculum or classroom that is cooperative and therefore not competitive usually involve the above learner-centered characteristics. 3. Interactive learning. Communicative purpose of language compels us to create opportunities for genuine interaction in the classroom. Interactive classes will most likely be found doing a significant amount of pair work and group work, receiving authentic language input in real-world context, producing language for genuine, meaningful communication, and etc. 4. Whole language education. Whole language has been so widely and divergently interpreted that it unfortunately is on the verge of losing the impact that it once had. Now, the term has come to encompass a great deal more. Whole language is a label that has been used to describe cooperative learning, participatory learning, student-centered learning, focus on the community of learners, focus on the social nature of language, use of authentic natural language, meaning-centered language, holistic assessment, technique in testing, and integration of the 4 skills. 5. Content-based instruction. Content-based instruction, or CBI, according to Brinton, Snow, and Wesche, is the integration of content learning with language teaching aims. More specifically, it refers to the concurrent study of language and subject matter, with the form and sequence of language presentation dictated by content material. 6. And the last one, task-based instruction. Task-based instruction is not a new method. Rather, it puts tasks at the center of one's methodological focus. It views the learning process as a set of communicative tasks that are directly linked to the circular goals they serve, the purpose of which extend beyond the practice of language for his own sake. And that's all for me for my method of teaching tasks, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.